you have this wonderful thing called AI, right? On Grok, so the new Grok apps come out, Grok 3, and there's an option on there where you have voice, right? So what I tend to find and try and do now is I'll click on the voice, I'll drive, and I'll start asking questions, and I'll start digging and researching, right? Because I'll ask a question and I'll start digging the research, I readapt the research, it brings back. Now I'm finding insightful information into multiple topics that are happening, and it could be something as simple as, tell me what the Israeli conflict is really about, what's currently happening, how is it laid out, what's the history of it, where did it come from, what are the two different opposing views, right? Who jumped first, who jumped last? Like, it just gives me insight. So we have so much access to information now that it's less uncomfortable to absorb information than it's ever been in human history.
Right.
And I'm finding, and how does this tie in, right? Because the more that you find balance, right, and this is what we're tying into, is we started with talking about the very primal instinct we have on looking at certain aspects of human beings and having a judgment to them, whether it's conscious or not. We all have it, right? And then saying, okay, despite that, we then look at the balance around that. Because, again, if you are the person, right, and I'm talking to that person, if you are the person who is 50 pounds overweight or overweight and you don't feel good about yourself, but you're nailing it in every other aspect, right? And you're nailing it because those things come a little bit easier. It's easier for you to engage and, adapt your spirituality. It's easier for you to have your mindset lock into certain things that don't involve food. And I'm being honest, that they don't involve food. They might involve, learning new subjects or locking in. You may be someone who's inclined, you might be a professor sitting at a university and you're locking in because you're really good at physics. Right, great. However, as someone who, found, and I didn't start as an athlete, right? We spoke about this last week. I was a skinny kid. I struggled to pack on muscle. I had to do some extreme goddamn things to get where I got, right? I worked my ass off to build that. I was a small nerdish kid who loved reading, sat in the library reading books about mythology and the Roman Empire and the Greek gods. That's things that I found interesting, and those came easy. I had to really develop physicality to find my place in it, right? Because I wanted to find a balance, even though back then I didn't realize it. So what I'm saying is, if you are the athlete that thinks, because I'm an athlete, I'm disciplined and I can go start a business, you need to start tapping into those things you don't like. Because a business is, let's say you're an athlete and you go, well, I'm going to train people. Great, that's a great idea. 99% of a business is doing the things that have nothing to do with how you run the business.
I know.
99% of running a business has got to do with doing accounts, getting clients, doing cold calls, doing all the shit you don't like to do in order to get to that one little part of that business you do like to do. Right? That's what business is. So regardless of whether you're on this extreme, being an athlete who's super in shape, or on this end of the spectrum where you're someone who might be a little bit overweight but super disciplined in other aspects of life, find the balance. Right? And why is that important? Because I will guarantee you,